Hello, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Yeah, here we go. Another episode of Dxtalks and Cryptotalks, discussing what's the latest in the world of crypto. Joining you from Dubai for another exciting interview. And don't forget, 2 more days, we have the Arts Now Festival that's happening within this weekend. It's going to be a massive event, a massive party, a massive, entertainment in the same time, a lot of sessions, panels, sharing of knowledge, getting to meet. It's the second festival of Arts DAO. So I'll be seeing you there if you are there. If not, do tune to the social media, check what's happening. Otherwise, how was your week? I hope it was well. Well, I'd like to say all of the best for our Dubai peeps because of what happened yesterday. We got stuck in a very hefty, I would say, disaster, if I want to call it. The way the rain and the took over Dubai, the amount of water that was thrown, it's for 2 years, for 24 hours. A lot of flooding, a lot of cancellations. I personally was also affected big time, getting stuck trying to get home, trying to be able to had to walk for 3.5 hours, but it was somehow, I won't say fun, but it was those kind of metaphorically fun to to experience it on the streets. But people were really drastic, and hopefully nobody was affected. That's the most important part. No lives, or there was some reports that 1 or 2 people died, but that's related in different areas. I think it was more in Oman because they were affected even more. They have landslides and so many other things. Anyhow, so we got back to Dubai. So as usual, today, we have a headline of the latest and greatest things that's happening in the region. Stocks and crypto at the edge of the world. So before we start in our news, don't forget crypto alerts. The crypto alerts is something we're keen to really help you. Now, there's a new, not related directly to the crypto, but it's related directly to the security of yourself. So I'm gonna do it this way. If you possibly share your fingerprints one way or another, similarly, maybe like that, but in another way, so your fingerprint might be shown, they might be a possibility to be able to go to get those digital authentication that you might be using for something in cybersecurity, to try to hack your phone, to try to hack your account, or whatever it is. So just be careful of how you manage and then how you show your social media. So be careful. And we'll move directly to our second news. Don't forget to join us and then, check out our social media from Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitch, Instagram and X, and all of the other platforms that we are on. Now, before I really start in the news and dive deeply, here we go. Sorry for that. I'd like to So here we go with our round of news. Going back to what's happening. If you are in Dubai, I'm sure you would have seen token 2049. So this is the highlight of this week. Well, not just highlight of this week. I think it's a highlight of the whole month, but a lot of events happening in total. I think plus minus 400 events in one shot. So was it day, afternoon, the night, party after party, and so on. So make sure that you grab one of your events, side events, after party, or whichever you want to grab on, and then to meet people and try to pitch your project, and then see this whole vibe of how the crypto scene and blockchain scene is in Dubai and UAE. It's really amazing. So I had a nice talk yesterday also with Rakdao CEO. It was hopefully get him on this show, uh, hopefully soon. Otherwise, it's gonna be a massive week. It's already there. The heavy storm yesterday, changed a bit of and cancellation or canceled a little bit of the events, but otherwise we're back on schedule, and everything is still go and is green. Now we'll move to directly to our medias. So global digital assets that's happening within a few days. We have the FinTech Revolution Summit, digital transformation and banking, and Agora happening all by the end of this week and the following week. So make sure to visit all of those events. Now we start with our first news in this space. And really, it's something that's happening in globally, where stocks and crypto at the edge of significant correction. The big question: are they? This is where a potential correction is happening on both stocks and crypto. It's not always linked, but today I think they are somehow could be linked in this specific time. Um, Founder of 10x Research tried to really mimic and try to study what's happening in the space. And we believe that the combination of factors from rising bond yields, inflations, and fewer, expected interest rates, that will be, kind of small triggers to see uh, the whole market correction. And this is where we've seen also Bitcoin uh, dropping 9%. Some people said, is it because of what's happening in the Middle East of the war? Of course not. That's something totally different. It's not related to that. So this is a sign that the narrative is really looking. Uh, just let me mute. What's up? Here we go. All right. So the narrative is really looking, different, and where that continuous interest cuts is really fueling the rallies. Was it up or down? Investors are now bracing for rates to stay at the same. So all of this signals a bearish market or outlook on the risky assets. And today, still, cryptocurrencies are considered risky assets. So should you hit the panic button in this space? I don't think so. There might be some, changes, and we have the correction coming, which we will have a discussion within a few minutes on. So let's move on to our second news, and with that, it's really important to understand, the latest dynamics of things, especially in this space. So if you have any question, pop them in the chat below. So Ether prices are in downtrend, similarly to what Bitcoin is being challenged. Is this really what's happening? Is this the space? This is what's up. Let's talk about the Bitcoin halving more and more. We have to start talking about this. So in terms of the price dump of Ethereum, and the world of cryptos in general, we had 1.2 trillion market cap. So this is where things are going to be changing. The rewards are going to be dropping. the rewards are going to be cut in half from 4.25 to I think 2.1, more or less. So this is an event which is really kind of happening year on year or every 4 years. It's really interesting to see how this whole market is really being affected. So kind of it shows you that everything is interlinked. And when we talk about Ether with a downtrend, this is where there's a lot of divergence in overall crypto that makes the market really unclear at this point of time. Investors are really cautious, but they're not really entirely abandoning the bullish sentiment. And we've seen maybe an event happening in Hong Kong that they might be sending the Ethereum ETFs, or approving the Ethereum ETFs, so that might be able to bring it back up a little bit. But maybe this is a short-term correction in terms of Ethereum, but how it's going to be playing, we don't know in terms of what's going to happen in the world of Ethereum, because we can see that there's a kind of a big divergence between both BTC and Bitcoin, even though Bitcoin is being challenged, and within the following days we're going to have the halving. So crypto-like communication devices could break government surveillance, and this is where we're starting seeing fascination in this experiment, or how will they be, what's happening in the space. I think it's not just fascinating, it's sometimes scary, where there's a link somewhere or a connection between the government surveillance, which is on the rise, and then we have a law that will be passed soon in the United States, which will renew or change the surveillance program that they already had, because it was proven that it is spying on every one of the US citizen. Of course, it doesn't stop in the US. It's a global thing. So technically, I would presume that we are also being spied upon, because it is for the protection of the United States. So with that, we're getting more stricter in terms of privacy, as in terms of government, how it's working, and that's why we're seeing more push of companies trying to really protect their applications and protect their protocols, and then develop more secure communication and hardware, similarly to cryptocurrencies hardware wallet for communication. Because today, possibly some of the encryption algorithms might be broken, and we don't know. With the development of quantum computing, which is not released to the public, but it's already there, guess who will be the first people that will be using it before even providing it for the public? Yeah, and this is where most of the technology actually started. Was it the internet or the other GPS and so on, other things? It started by the US Army. So they had a hands-on before many of us had to use it. So the government would really pressure also not just the communication apps, but also the companies. We've seen with Twitter how it was collaborating with the government. Elon Musk came in, changed the management, and proclaimed that he is no longer, but we never know that. So all of this is really up for grabs, and this is where we need us people to start developing decentralized security, similarly to the world of cryptocurrencies. Now, that's the second news. And the last news, which is the main star of the Bitcoin halving, which is happening in 2 days, 4 hours, and around 36 minutes. So it's up here for grabs. It's happening on 19th of April, European time. So it will be around 2-3 hours before today, or before now, if we want to take it in our region, plus minus. So it's going to be happening on Friday around late afternoon, early evening. So let's see what will happen. Let's see the estimate or the how will the miners be taking this? Is it gonna be, you know, uh, a big appetite for them? Are they gonna be, still gonna work? Is it gonna be lucrative? Are they gonna stop mining, or that is not the case because of the way it was designed and the scarcity? Will that be showing that now if I want a Bitcoin, we know that there's 1 million Bitcoin in circulation only out of the 21 million. And then there's another 1 million, which is still locked for the next, as per the algorithm, for the next 100 years, 100 year. So until then, we have 1 million in circulation. We've seen earlier this year, BlackRock entering the ETFs. Now we're seeing closer steps in terms of Hong Kong entering the ETFs also. And then gonna be seeing Singapore and other states. So that will drive demand for more Bitcoin. But if I have a Bitcoin at this point of time, I'm not selling. And if you have a Bitcoin, you're not selling. So the circulation of 1 million will start being shrank down and down. And then here comes a couple of billions of dollars from BlackRock and other institutions that they want more and more Bitcoins. But guess what? They will not be. And that is the only possibility to drive the price up. So this is what we have to really see, and how this portfolio will be changing within the few months. Investors are really now bracing to stay in the same place, or maybe have some of their purchasing more to try to not skip this wave. I would personally, I'm still bearish in terms of what's going to happen within a few days, but overall, this trend could be all the way up. So with that, I'd really like to thank you for being with us for this week. Don't forget to subscribe and like this episode and share it among your environment. And with that, we'll see you next week here on Crypto Talks.